Finishing hybrid restorations like Cerasmart or Enamec is important in clinical practice. This is a demonstration for those materials. First, we want to remove the sprue. We do that with the DiaTrim. DiaTrim is really useful for removing sprues in all instances, but we don't want to get too close and remove too much of that hybrid material. So we follow it up with a special hybrid removal lab wheel. DiaShine issue this in a few of their packs, and you can also purchase it individually. It's just not as aggressive as the DiaTrim and allows you to see quite a smooth surface when it's finished being used. Now we can follow that up with a straight lab diamond, and using the straight handpiece is optional. As I've said before, you can also use your high-speed handpiece in your operatory if you're not a lab and you're a dentist. Works just as well, but I like to have the restorations that I'm finished in the lab part of my surgery, so I don't want to be going back into my clinic to do that. I want the chair time dedicated for chair-related procedures. So if I've got myself a lab wheel like this, I can follow, accentuate the curvatures on the teeth and produce that anatomy without interrupting the rest of the workflow in my clinic. So after we've finished our surface refinement, we can then begin to create that beautiful high luster on the hybrid restoration. Now to do this, we use the DiaShine Fine Hard Binder. This is an incredible polishing compound. I use it very, very liberally, lots and lots of polishing compound. And what we want to be doing is applying that with a lighter touch. The speed is something that I like to use these lab wheels a bit faster, but you don't want to hold it on the same area, and you don't want to have as much consistent pressure as with glass ceramics. And the reason for that is that if you hold a fast moving lab wheel brush and compound onto a restoration, it will actually tend to scorch that area that you've held on for too long. So just keep the movement up there. You can keep the speed higher as long as you keep the movement going. With Enamec, you really need to slow down. You need to really use it at a much lower speed, like 10,000, 15,000, even slower than that. And you can even use some of the lighter or finer compounds as well. But generally, this is a Cerasmart restoration I'm polishing at the moment. It's my favorite hybrid by far. I've had really great clinical results with it. You want to make sure that you're treating that restoration as it was a glass ceramic, and I've found that this protocol works quite well. Now in some cases, when you've actually used that Eve Fine or you've got your high luster finish, you're going to find that you're going to see a bit of sprue on the side. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually removing that sprue from the side of the restoration because I've seen it after I've achieved the high luster finish. So it's just a matter of going back, removing that, only takes 2 or 3 seconds, and then switching back to that fine lab compound, just using the occlusive brush and just buffing it up again to high shine. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it's allowed you to see some of my personal tricks that I like to use to get as shiny restorations as I possibly can for my patients without spending too much time in it.